Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Today I'm going to review the Asics Kayano 25. Why I like them, why I've bought a whole bunch of them as you'll see in a moment, and why I think it's one of the best running shoes out there. Is Asics Kayano 24 or 25 the best running shoe on the market? Let's find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing today. I just got these in. I went over to the Asics outlet store in a place just about an hour and a half south of Portland, and they had stock of the Kayano 25s. Yes! Now I've bought a lot of these shoes over the years. How many might you say? Well, let's check this out, shall we? Now these are the current shoes I have. These are my brand new ones, and I just got a option on these. These are the ones that I've just pretty much run out, and these, as you can see, they're a little bit more beat up. I've had these since 2013. So as you can see, I've got a lot of money in just running shoes, and also we bought these ladies Kayano 25s, or I think they're 25, yeah, the Kayano 25s for the lady runner in the house. And I just want to tell you a little bit about these shoes and what my experience has been. So it used to be way back when you went and bought a pair of running shoes, you just bought some tennis shoes, if you will, and you went out and you jogged, and that was it. Now over the years, running has evolved into a very refined sport. Now it might seem like, oh, what's the big deal? So when you go out and run, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to notice over time you're going to develop a wear pattern on this shoe. And I'll get to the new shoes in a moment. You just hang on. But you're going to develop a wear pattern in your shoe. And let me show you the current wear pattern on these. All right, and these aren't terribly worn, but they are done. And you can see here, outside of the heel, coming in for the strike here, that's the wear pattern. It's not terribly obvious, but on these, you can really see the wear pattern here. Now this is because I run in a midfoot strike, where instead of hitting my heel and rolling over and pushing off, instead I actually strike the mid part of my foot, or the ball of my foot. They call that a midfoot strike. I hit here, I step down on my heel, and then I push off. So as I'm running, I come in, I touch, step, come back off, push, and then go. Now that might seem completely absurd, like, what? Why don't you just hit here, roll, and go? However, in my mid-30s, I started to develop knee pain from running. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, no good. And I would be out like, oh, I feel fine. I would go out 3 or 4 or 5 miles, and all of a sudden I would just get this blinding pain in my knees, like, oh my gosh, this hurts. And I would have to walk home. It would be like 2 hours to get home. That really stunk. So I'm going to create another video. Check out the link below. Just hit the little arrow next to the video, and I'll talk about ways I've avoided knee pain, but it's this running technique, and I'll show you outside. But what I want to do is these shoes have really saved my running, because I just kind of pooped out. I really couldn't handle it. So went to Roadrunner Sports in San Diego. There's a link below to them too, and they started to do fittings and checking out shoes. So checking them out online is pretty tough. I've got links below to these Kayano 25s, and you can check out the 24 and 23s, but these are the latest, greatest. So let's do the unboxing right now. And the reason I call these probably I'd say the best running shoe on the market today is they are literally like running on a mushy cloud. Now that's not to say that mushy cloud like, oh yeah, it's all jelly, but when you strike and you step and you roll off, man, they just feel great. Now I know running's already tough. I mean, you tell people, hey, let's go for a run. They're like, I'd rather cut a finger off. You choose. But if you're into running or considering getting into running, getting the best shoes is super important. Now, one of the considerations is, do you overpronate onto your inside of your foot? Are you neutral, or are you supinate or underpronate? There's this whole weird language. You've had this happen your whole life and you didn't even know it. But these shoes are supposed to be for the overpronator, but they're so cushy. I put them on. Ah, Nirvana. So let's do the unboxing, all right? I'm not going to hold you in any more suspense here. Now, granted, these are shoes. I mean, it's not like some sort of crazy unboxing, but all right, they have the standard papery fabric, and oh yeah, check it out. And this time I actually get a little bit of color instead of black and white. I like the green. People might say, oh, that's terrible. Actually, garish colors are great in running shoes. Hardcore runners, they tend to have these wild colors, and that's just fine. They've got their usual little tag on here. And yeah, the second shoe. Not much more in there. They're very efficient with their boxing and packaging, just enough to protect the shoe. So Asics does a really good job here. Oh yeah. The new shoe smell. I love it. Yes, I am weird. I actually enjoy the smell of new shoes. So of course, you might say, hey, I love new shoes. Well, these are new running shoes. You can see just how crazy bright this insert pocket is here. On my new black and white ones, well, not as exciting. So you can see the difference here. These are actually the same shoe. Was it the flight foam insert and the guide channel lines? This is pretty crazy. So I'm going to show you the brand new ones. These here are, I don't know, maybe two weeks old, give or take. I went on 2 runs, and I was also working out and pulled a muscle, so I'm kind of down, and that's why I'm doing these. But let me show you the features on this shoe. And first, let's do the unboxing or finish that. Get out the old paper. Make sure to recycle this sort of stuff. All right, get that out there, and let's see what it says on their little tag. Care instructions. Clean it with a soft brush. Avoid storing in extreme hot, don't leave your running shoes in your hot car. It can actually, over time, damage the foam. Here, let me tilt this up a little bit. I know it seems crazy and you've left your shoes in there, but when you run and you run a lot, usually once I get healed from this muscle pull, I usually do about 35, maybe 40 miles a week, depending on what I've got going. So go out 6 or 7 miles every day. So shoes are super important. What else they say? Do not use a washing machine at all or a dryer to clean your shoes. That will destroy them. So these guys have this air channel in here. So instead of, I think the previous version, no, they still had the channel in here. Let me grab a different pair of shoes. Nope, channel. Okay, here's a pair of Skechers. So these guys are designed primarily for walking. No big deal, but when you strike, your whole heel is here. They're spongy, but not that special. But this air channel in here, when you strike and you strike with your heel, this outside edge mushes down, and it actually allows quite a bit. It's maybe about a third of an inch of complete compression zone. So when you do, if you're a heel strike runner, you hit and you run, boy, this thing just mushes in, and it's not mushy like unstable, but just you step and it's just not like this bang where your teeth are jarred. So that's really nice. This center part is very solid. Yep, totally solid. That's very supportive. And then you'll see this channel line where you're supposed to translate all the energy in your foot to the toe. There's an actual line where theoretically this is where the energy transfer point is supposed to happen at your foot. And that's where it's the most absorbative in the shoe. Now, their inserts, the gel Kayano, whatever, Z sort of thing. Let's pull out the insert. This is a standard cheap foam insert. Well, it's probably not cheap. It's actually pretty expensive. I mean, these shoes are mind-blowingly expensive. Check out the link below. Click on the Amazon. You'll be like, what? Yeah. So really expensive. I used to get the super feet, but they've gotten so expensive. I wouldn't say I can't afford them anymore, but yeah, 40 and 50 bucks for an insert on the shoe. I just can't justify it. So I've learned to deal with this insert, and actually running over time doesn't seem to bother me, so really it's not too bad. And you can see inside here, and also that's a huge advantage of these shoes. The Kayanos, they come in normal width, wide, and extra wide. I have fat feet, like fat feet, and these really do the job because I have ultra wide feet after coming back from Antarctica and skiing to the South Pole. So you can see in here, extra wide. Yeah, there you go. So extra wide. And also, the nice thing being a running shoe, they have the runner's little hole here where if you're starting to feel your feet slide in and out, you can actually transfer the lace back to that farther back hole there. And that way it prevents your feet from slipping. So that's a very nice feature. Now I'm just going to, put on my new current pair and just show you what they look like. Let me see here. See if we can get the camera all set up. So we'll click that off. And put these on. Ah, yeah. Now obviously these look super huge on me, and they are, but it's that width of my foot. And yeah, there you go. We'll get the other one on here. And the shoelaces are really nice. They are quite spongy. So I have a tendency when I do run, I always double knot these things because no matter what shoelace I have, I always seem to unknot them. Also, these are good shoes where you don't have to lace them up very tight. So I just do the double knot deal there. And that's what these guys look like. They're very comfortable. Even though you shouldn't really use them for walking, you're spending a buku amount of money on shoes like these things. I mean, whoa. They're meant specifically for running. That said, my older pairs that have blown out, I walk around with them. Oh, it feels great. I mean, I can walk for all day. I've taken them to Paris and marched around London. I mean, just like no problem. I mean, 9 hours, okay, your feet are going to be hurting. So these Asics Kayano 25s or whatever they are, the gel in them, it's got that endurance line, whatever this is. But these are, I would argue, as long as they fit you properly, and check with your foot store and your doctor and podiatrist and specialist and whatever else. But these things are utterly incredible. It's like walking on the cloud. Check out the price below. They're not cheap, but when you're running and you want to go a little distance, maybe you're training for a 5K, 10K, maybe a half marathon, or if you're going to go really crazy, a full marathon, these shoes are incredible. They're supposed to be rated up to 500 miles. And that might sound crazy, but you're training for a marathon, 500 miles goes pretty quick. Since I do 35, 40 miles a week, theoretically, these would only last like 3 months. Asics says that they rate them for 6 months of heavy use. That's about right. I get a lot more use out of them because of weather and whatever else. But these shoes, Asics Kayanos, are incredible. By the way, full disclosure, I do not receive commission from Asics, or I don't receive free shoes or anything from these videos. It's just a full disclaimer that I'm reviewing products that I use or like, and these are definitely I don't get any compensation from Asics or any of the Roadrunner or anybody else on links below. One other thing I failed to mention, that these Kayanos come in both a men's and a ladies edition. So you can see obviously my foot's freaking huge, but they come in a ladies size where the heel cup is a little bit tighter, a little bit smaller. Fits women really well. Definitely highly recommended. So both men and women, there's a shoe for you that if it fits for you and you run, it's like, oh man, this is the best. Check it out. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Please like and comment on my video. Scroll to the bottom, let me know how I'm doing. Also hit the subscribe button on my channel, and that way you can get updates on the latest running shoes, products, motivation, travel tips, and everything else I do. Please support my channel on Venmo and PayPal. Thank you very much for watching.